Welcome one, welcome all to the fifth session of our Void Sea Chronicles adventure. If you will recall, within our last sessions, after escaping the small fragment of not much more than beach, and a tense sailing through the Void Sea, barely escaping a roving pack of small Terradorna, and the shifting mist, the ship of one Black Buckle Pierce, one of the few active pirates on the Void Sea, as you were informed at some point. It took several days to reach the relative safety of Steelhaven, low on food, low on water, low on energy. In fact, just as you crossed the barrier, I believe I said the last energy cell sparked and burnt out, just as the barrier was crossed. But you find yourself in Steelhaven, in the presumed safety of Steelhaven. And you met the ex-husband of your captain, his name Thomas DeTroy, a large, rough-looking half-orc. And you, after witnessing the little skiff they got into over the state of the Voided Hope as it got back into the ways, you retired to a tavern. And that is where we ended. So you find yourself in the tavern, the Starwater Inn. It is down on the docks in the Starwater district. I will pull up the Steelhaven map for your reference. It is in this area of buildings there somewhere. I should not be on that. Let me delete random.
Wait a second. I know this map. I've used this map.
You've not used this map because I made this map.
Looks so similar then to one of the ones I've used.
Maybe similar, but I made this map, so you have not used this map. But yes, you find this.
Someone ripped off this map.
You stole it from the future.
Well, yeah, you stole it from the future. That's what happened. You're a time traveler. But yes, you are in the. You're in this, the Starwater Inn. It is in this section of buildings there somewhere, right across the river from the warehouse district and the docks. It's ran by a boisterous, loud, gnome, Elliot. You came in, you ordered some food. You have, Elliot the Ton, that was it. Loves to have somebody keeping good notes. You ordered some food.
That was literally the last thing I wrote down.
Ordered a live chicken, which Elliot sent one of his employees to go and fetch. And you sat down at the table with Captain DeTroy, and he said, "Now, I'll offer you a spot on my crew. Once the ship's fixed, that is. If you want it. It's a job. I can't say it pays great, but it gives you some freedom. It offers you at least a little bit of safety within Steelhaven."
Yes, I accept, but I will have to say that if we come to a port where my fellow troop that I was with before this, I might have to leave you. Just depends. I have no idea where they are.
Yeah, the way y'all ended up on that beach was something. Might need to look into that and what happened to that fragment as well. What about you, little one?
Which little one?
Look how.
There's
Oh,
too many little ones to
yeah.
choose from.
Right, a lot of people are small. I'm small myself. But I don't look like a child. I know you're not a child because of the way you act, but it's something.
Oh, oh, thank you. That's the first time anyone has ever said that. I think I'll most definitely join. I mean, I don't really have anywhere else to go, so it's nice to be part of something.
Great, great. We'll find some type of work for the two of you on the ship. But I imagine we got some time, got a little bit of shore leave before that becomes important, and I'll have to track down some more crew. It breaks my heart how many we lost in that little scuffle. And then the time on the beach after it. I've got some families to visit. It's not a part of the job I like.
Well, I will say that in my travels, it's people that usually end up in ports have a wandering mentality, so you will find your crew, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, never been that hard. If all else fails, I just go to the collective, but I prefer to get my crew elsewhere. The collective's
What
good
is
people.
wrong with the
The
collective?
collective's good people, but they can be a bit stuck up.
In what way?
The hierarchy of the collective is, if you don't know, the collective is the first people, at least in this area, that managed to make a ship capable of traversing the void. And as such, they can rightfully be a little bit stuck up. The leader, he's kind of a humble man, but he's about the only one. Open notes, because I had to restart my computer. Yeah, Professor Patrol, he is humble, and he is, at the very least, not as stuck up as the rest of them. But some of them just can get rightfully full of themselves.
Well, they do travel the dangerous sea of the void, so it would pay to have seasoned sailors as
Yeah,
opposed to people fresh off the boat, if you would be.
Yeah, but that extra training sometimes ain't worth the attitude. Sometimes it is. I usually get my crew from a mixture of the two. Some from the collective, some from just laying about. It's about this time. It's been 30 minutes or so. The half-orc, Thomas Detroit, comes in. He's changed, he's cleaned up, he's wearing this button-down shirt. It's still very work heavy, but you can tell he's dressed differently. As you look around, many of the people just coming from work definitely have not. He comes in and he spots you all. He comes to the table. He has a small box in his hand. About yay big or so. It's made of a black wood, like almost ebony, and inlaid with gold. He sets it on the table in front of Captain Edward. Says, "You left that, and from the look of it, you need it." And you all look, and why is my music being stupid? That's silly. Um, you all look, and you see that
You're cutting out a little bit.
of course. Um, you see that Captain Detroit's clockwork arm he's fashioned it into a bit of a sling of types, but it's currently inoperative. He opens the box, and within it are 3 more of those small energy cells. Uh-oh. 3 more of those small energy cells. Purple and gold. It's working with a little bit of arcane energy. He grabs from with his actual arm and reaches over. You can tell it's a bit of a stretch for him, but he manages to snap it into place in the shoulder of this arm, and you can see this purple sparking energy start running through it, turning various cogs and joints. Takes it out of the sling and moves it a bit. Oh, well, that's better. The orc goes to the bar, gets himself a drink, and comes and sits down. It's like, now, I appreciate y'all helping my Edward to get back to safety. But I feel I need to let you know that ship ain't meant to do that. Got my man looking at the shard. Damn near overloaded the thing.
We had to scrounge around and find some energy cells that might not have been the right size, but it was what we had to work with.
That didn't help. But
I think it was more of us going into a void storm.
you did what?
It was either that or be killed by weird space creatures.
Yeah, he's not looking at you. He's looking straight at the little gnome it's kind of... You've seen how Captain Edward, how he carries himself, and this is not it. He's sheepishly, like, looking down at the table. It's like, well, yeah, like I said, it was either that or the Terradorna. I took my chance with the storm.
Personally, I feel like it was a great tactic to be used. It saved our lives. So, yeah, it is what it is.
It was either that or the ship be destroyed completely.
It was really the safer option.
Well,
Not a safe option, definitely safer.
definitely not a safe option. Nothing can be done about it. You're home. That's what matters. Though, repairing the ship's gonna take a bit. Running that, skipping it across the void like that. I made that shard to do that because you had the energy to handle it, but I always told you I didn't recommend it. One of these days you're gonna blow it up. Again, Edward is kind of sheepishly like, well, I ain't done it yet. There's a bit of a look between them for a little bit, and that bit of a conversation dies down. Till finally Thomas, the orc, he says, well, here's the turnaround. It's gonna take a couple weeks. But from the looks of you, you could use some shore leave. Now, the cost behind it. I don't believe the collective's going to cover all of it this time, Edward. Especially since the shipment of the steel is all loosely attached to the side of that hull. But
I am sure we can do something to appease the collective. Some type of a trip into the void that no one else wants to do. That's the kind of stuff that I feel our captain does.
well, it ain't the void. But they do have an expedition going out into the Northwood. Somebody from small town said that they had seen some of this void tainted wood. It is very useful in constructing things meant to go out into the void. Some extra hands on that expedition probably would loosen the collective up a little. But that is not something that is happening tomorrow. Their expedition is already out there. You'd be joining it after the fact.
Who can we talk to about that?
Go up to the guild hall. They'll have it posted, I'm sure. But that ain't something that's going to go away tomorrow.
In the guild hall, or just outside of the guild hall?
Oh yeah, that whole mess. You might not want to go to the guild hall. But yes, to the guild hall. And you'll hold on just...
expected to chop down these trees, or are we just bringing them back?
I have no clue how far along their expedition is. I rightly do not know. You'd have to go check it out at the guild hall to see exactly what it entails, but surely if you do it, they'll, at least get on their good side. And a lot of that wood would probably go right back into the Void Maiden, as it were.
Yes. I guess if we want our boat to float, we must get the wood.
But it ain't going nowhere. Take a day or two of shore leave. Clean up. He looks at some of you, and it's just at this point you realize how rank some of you are.
What we are?
Just how bad you smell, how bad your clothing is. It's been a bit. Between the travel on the Void Sea and being marooned in some form or another on that island. Like, you look positively tired, though. At some point during this conversation, this young red-headed boy, probably 15 or 16, comes in and he's holding by the talons this large white chicken. He's trying his hardest to reach up and peck him. He catches eyes with you and he just kind of sticks it out to you.
Ah, yes. I thank you very much. And I'll take it and as I grab it, I'll turn it towards me and I'll lock eyes with the chicken and just kind of move my head back and forth and wait until the chicken settles down.
Can I play my flute?
The chicken resigns to his fate. Not tries to peck you a few times, but he sees that it is a fruitless effort.
I'll have my tongue flick out a couple times to taste my to get the flavor of it before I gulp it down in one thing. Just 1 minute it's there, the next it's gone, and I have some feathers hanging out of my lip, my maw. And you do see an uncomfortable bulge that goes down his neck and into his torso.
Yeah, the couple dozen people that are in this tavern, just you can feel that most of them are staring. It's like, but after you eat the chicken, they all kind of go back to what they were doing. It's kind of that eerie silence, and then what the crap? Oh, it's going to break everything, probably. No, it didn't. Well, okay. That is odd.
I must say the fear is a little bit of an enticement. It's makes the chicken taste so much better.
Well, whatever you say. I kind of like mine cooked, but to each their own. I can't judge you. God knows my people's done some shit over the years. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm going to attempt to start getting your ship expedited. I know you don't like to be on land all that much. I'm gonna go see what I can't get done. Whose ass I have to kiss to get the parts paid for. You may owe me some. There's a bit of a awkward embrace between Edward and Thomas. Edward kind of leaves. Thomas leaves. Edward says, "Well, it's about time for me to go and put my head on a pillow somewhere too. I'll probably be up in the collective dormitories. I think I still have a room there." He takes out a bag. It's got a couple hundred coins in it. In fact, it is 200 coins. He says, that'll at least put you up for a little while. I think Elliot and Emily have a few rooms around here. If they don't, there are several boarding houses around. Could always try and join up in the collective. One of the perks is a nice warm bed when you're on. Nice warm bed when you're on shore.
I think around here will do just fine for me. Thanks, Captain.
Yes, I do need to procure the work of a laundry.
Well, it's a big town. He kind of yawns. He's like, oh. Well, I'll be in touch. You can always find me at the shipyard, probably. He gestures to each of you in turn, and he gets up and he leaves. The afternoon, it is. The sun has well and truly set now. The pub is lively. This large, gray-skinned Goliath woman comes up to you. Oh, hi. I'm Emily. I help run this place. Can I get you anything else? You've been sitting here an awfully long time.
Another round of mead for my friends and I.
Yes. I can do that. I can do that.
And Emily, what's the room situation like? Are there rooms available?
Oh yeah, yes. We have a few. I might actually have to look and see what rooms we do have available.
Yes, I would definitely like one. And if you could you please bring me a straw?
A straw. Yes. I will see what I can do about that. I will see what I can do about that. I'm sure Elliot. I'm sure as scatterbrained as he can be. I'm sure he has one somewhere.
Thank you, my dear.
I will go and check on the room situation. And she leaves for a little bit.
So, folks, what do you want to do in the big city? I guess tomorrow.
I don't know. I've never been to one before.
Well, I can tell you there's lots to do here. Plenty of ways to spend some coin, if that's what we want to do.
Yes. I think we should probably look into selling those jewels that we had that we didn't trust our quartermaster with. And
Yes.
do you know anything about these North Woods?
Do I? I mean, I'm from the area. I don't think I've spent a ton of time in the Northwood, and it's been.
Yes, about with the Northwood, you haven't spent too much time in it. Closest you've come to it is on the road between Small Town and, um, you know, there's a tribe of orcs that is allied with Small Town, and they provide safety, and they tell the small folk that most of the population of Small Town that they should probably stay out of the woods. That there's many natures of ferocious beasts there. There is some type of beast that they cannot place that is out there as well. So not a safe thing, but also not as dangerous as the Void Sea. So
Yeah, I wouldn't have spent much time there. Honestly, it's dangerous for folks like me.
Well,
Yeah.
I must say that I do not do much traveling into the woods. I'm a townsy, if I must call myself anything, and so maybe we need to procure some provisions and maybe some tents or some other things to travel in there.
That's not a bad idea at all. Get something that we can use to protect ourselves from the elements, such as they are.
We might actually want to talk to the guild first before and find out exactly what we will be doing. Maybe they have a caravan going in that we can join.
It sounds like they may already have a caravan in there that we would be going to join. But that asking the questions is the right place to start, I think. I'm by no means an expert of what that expedition would be doing.
Hey, Dave, did you say that there was like some blimps above the city?
Yes, yes. There are various types of different sky vessels that you have seen.
Ah, I think a sky vessel would be much better than traveling through the woods and getting all these crazy, soggy insects stuff on us.
I would imagine so, but it's probably harder to gather something for. Again, I'm no expert, but probably harder to gather something in the woods.
You more than would know that many of the sky vessels, the smaller ones that might actually be able to land anywhere near the middle of the Northwood, have a hard time getting over the mountain range. And the large ones that can navigate the mountain range, you would have to be crazy to try and land it in confined spaces. And they're large vessels.
It's all the trees, you see. They make it difficult to land. So
I just wanted to ride in the sky vessel. Surely there's some crazy man named Han Solo that might try the the mountains, but yes, if I think we need to figure out exactly what our goal is: to meet up, to catch up with the caravan, or to travel with the caravan. We need to know this before we buy stuff.
We should probably travel with the caravan. You know, extra protection. Anything can happen.
I agree. If that's an option, if the caravan hasn't gone ahead of us.
Of course. But I would like to see if there's a magic store, and I also do require an exotic animal pet store, if possible.
The
To eat or to have? Why exotic pets?
I like snakes.
Of course.
I can talk to them. They can be our little friends, and they can help us out.
It's about this point that Goliath has come back. And you notice she's in a different outfit than she was when she first came up. She's like, I'm so sorry about that. There's a bit of an accident in the kitchen. Somebody wasn't paying Somebody wasn't paying attention to what he was doing. She glares back at the gnome, and he just kind of gives a shrug. It's like, I had to put on a dress. I'd much rather have something else, but it's all good. Yes, we do have some rooms. She pulls out a little list and starts thumbing through it. She says, yes, they're all up on the second floor, as it were. We have one room that is a single, a couple of double rooms with larger beds, a few small budget rooms. They just have a few beds each, and then some larger group rooms. We have the room with a good view. It has 3 large beds in it. Next to that is a room, kind of crammed into a space that used to be something else, but It has 4 nice small beds. It's comfortable. Um, if you're not one of those type that need a window to look out. Um,
We've been on a ship in the void for the last 5 days, and neither of these two snore, so I will take a room with them if they wish, or if they wish a personal room, I understand.
well, the room with the view is probably got the most space in it. And it has good windows. Has again 3 large beds. Enough space that you could spread out a little if you'd like. I might could get one of the I might could get a single bed moved in there for you if somebody doesn't want to share bed space. I'm sure we have some hammocks laying about somewhere. Um,
Oh, there's only 3 of us, right?
or a skin pillow.
There's 4.
Oh yeah, skin peel. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna probably need his own bed.
I would be fine with a hammock myself. I don't need much.
Yeah, I can get
Oh,
a
yeah.
hammock. Well, the room with the view is 5 silver a night. It's a little bit expensive, I know, but with the collective doing their boarding houses like that, we just get tourists. Get a bit of tourist business. We tend to try and keep our rooms priced competitively enough that it matters, but expensive enough that we can make a profit. Yes, like I said, the room with the view is open, as is the room without a window. I don't like that room. It's not cramped. It's still pretty spacious, but it doesn't have a window. I need some fresh air, you know. So, up to you. The room with no view is 2 silver a night. It has 4 single beds and enough space to spread out, but not quite as much as one of the larger rooms. If you really don't care how much space you have, we have a couple of much smaller rooms that are pretty cramped, honestly. It's somebody my size can't be.
Okay, all right. Enough. We'll take a room with the window.
Okay, excellent. As I said, that's 5 silver a night. For all,
silver.
that's the one without the window. That's 2 silver.
That's fine. We'll take the one with the window.
Okay.
Our friend Torkal was held prisoner by a dragon on an island
Oh,
in a dark, dank room. We need to get him some fresh air.
That sounds absolutely horrible. Poor dear. I'll get you an extra drink on the house. But yes, I will have one of our people take a hammock up there for you, and gets the beds made. We just had somebody move out of the room, so give me about 30 minutes and I'll have it made up for you. Would you like any extra supper sent up as well?
And if you have a rat or two, I might have one of those. That'd be fine.
Oh, if you see any, around the house. There's a bath upstairs as well. If you wanted, I could have somebody take care of laundry for you. Some of you are still, tossed in the water. The clothes are still, just kind of air dried. I could have somebody take care of that for you. Although I don't see much baggage. Do you have an extra outfit?
Oh, that's okay. I don't need to worry about going around without my clothes.
Oh yeah, I imagine that would be a thing. I do. I wish I didn't. But I do.
But
Oh.
yes, I would like a. We will shop tomorrow and maybe find something else to wear. Who knows?
Well, if you...
I can make you clothes.
Hey, Bobby, come here, Bob. Yes, if you tell Bobby what you'd like, I can send him to go get you a change of clothes so that you can be comfortable. We'd like people to be comfortable. It would just be at cost, of course. It'd just be at
If
cost.
you can get fabric, if you can just give me the fabric, I can do it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he can go get fabric, probably cheaper than clothing. Okay, Bob, go get a couple reams of fabric for this kind gentleman, and if you run across that foul bird, do tell them that they still owe me about 5 gold. The kid takes the orders and he runs off out of the thing. But yes, just wave me over when you're ready. I'll show you up to the room and locate the keys for you. I will have some people cleaning it for you.
Excellent. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
That token is not there. That's left over. Yeah, she goes off and waits on a few more tables. Tells some orders to people to go and clean and all that. And you are on your own at this point. I don't know why I would not be able to see this map. Technical issues tonight, man. But yes, the night is yours. At this point, there's a couple of people up on this little makeshift stage over there, looking at making some entertainment.
They're setting up for some music or anything like that?
Yeah, there's some people up there singing. There's making a little bit of merriment. Not particularly good, but it's also not particularly bad. It's the equivalent of a karaoke night. It's not professional people, but it's not terrible.
Being that I have been in a traveling troupe, how do I rate them?
Amateurish.
Just like a
Amateurish at
Amateurish,
best,
okay.
but there's nobody up there that particularly makes you want to go and stop them. Emily brings you back. Says, "Sorry about the raid in the room. It's just taking a little bit. Here's some gumbo on the house. There's a bowl for you, dear. I'm not sure if you could eat it or not. There's some pretty big hunks
She's
of
talking to
meat."
me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, and I just take my straw out of my drink and put it in the soup.
All right.
This is fine. Yeah. I must say, everybody that has lips has it easy.
Ah, I suppose we do take those kind of things for granted. Again, sorry it's taking a while. We've had a few people that have I can't say they're bad workers or anything. They didn't show up. That it's been a couple days since we've seen them. Um, Heather didn't show up tonight, and she's the third of our barmaids that just hasn't shown on us. Um, I'm having trouble finding a couple that didn't show up yesterday. It's a terrible thing. Um, I do hope, and I hate to say this, I do hope that they are just bad people and not just decided they did not want to work and didn't show up. Because otherwise, the alternative would be worse.
Maybe you should tell people to tip more.
Oh,
That'll get them back into work.
that would be lovely if you wanted to tip more.
And maybe instead of like the amateur hour, you might actually like book some people. I do have a group in mind, but they're not in town at the moment.
We do occasionally get some more professional people. This is a weekday, you see. Usually that kind of stuff happens on the weekend. In fact, we do have a nice wind band that is coming in. What is today? In 3 days' time, I think it is. This new music that's going around is like really upbeat and fun. I like it. I like to dance to it. You should definitely make sure to be here that night if you want less amateurish music. These guys have a lot of passion. I could never get up in front of people like that and do it. I just couldn't. It's like, well, I'm sure your room will be done anytime. I'll go ahead and give you the key. When you want to go up, just wave me over. And if we have to finish cleaning around you, we will do so. And she sets this key on this heavy iron key on the table. Says, do you need anything else while we're waiting? More mead, more ale?
I've had plenty.
You
Thanks.
just see Torkal swaying in his chair, easily able to tell he's a bit of a lightweight.
Okay. Oh, okay. There's just wave me or whoever else you see that looks like they work here over when you need to be let up. When you wish to retire. I should not imagine it would take him more than another 5 minutes to get it clean. Again, sorry, it was short-handed. There's not much we can do about it. But we're doing our best for you. She picks up the tray that she had brought the gumbo on and goes about serving other people in the bar. I'm not populating this entire map with tokens. I had the commoners there for another reason. But it's pretty full house. Depending on how long you sit there and talk, it probably gets to the point where there isn't an empty seat and people are standing at the bar. If you meant for those roles to be public, though, they were not.
I did not. I meant for
Okay.
them to be myself.
Okay, just making sure.
I don't know about you, gents. Or folks or people. I don't know. I'm gonna go to bed. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yes, it has been a long day. I think I shall join.
You see Torkal just starting to really stumble up the steps.
Yes, Emily, the Goliath, comes back and she leads you up. She leads you on up. As she said she would, to lead you up this set of stairs there. She unlocks this door for all of you. Says, "That is the room. There's a. If you wish not to use chamber pots, there's a latrine here. That's right close to your room. The bathing facilities are over there." She points to the middle door that's on the east wall. That if you wish to sit out and listen to the music a little longer in a more private situation, to the north there's a small little sitting room. It's not as private as being in your room, but it's more private than being down in the common area. But gentlemen, I will see if you need anything. Just ring the bell, and I will come up and do what I can. And she goes on back down the stairs, and you hear finally raise her voice a bit. I told you, I don't want you doing that. I will come over there.
I go and collapse in the hammock. I don't
Yeah.
even think about bathing or anything, just
There's a
face
hammock.
first, basically.
There's a hammock there somewhere. But yes, you find yourself to your room. There are 3 fairly large double beds. They're not luxurious or anything, but they are nice.
Drunken Swarcall not being very coherent right now. Just kind of wobbles side to side and ends up climbing in the hammock with Marvin.
Just 2 small bodies collapse in the hammock.
2 small bodies that fits into one bed.
2 small bodies collapse in the hammock.
Yes, we are the size of one person now.
Yep. 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
Oh my god, let's do that.
And Skin Pillars will climb into one of the beds and get a loud snoring.
No, he doesn't snore. That's the reason I enjoy.
Oh.
I agreed to the room.
He doesn't
That's
snore. Okay.
No. Yes.
But
You
yes,
spend time on a boat. You know who snores and who doesn't.
the room
Very,
and
very
the rest
quick.
of the room and the rest of the night is yours. Should you wish to do anything?
I'll sit on my bed and I want to use the orb a little bit.
All right. What are we using the orb to do?
I want to. I have a desire to learn about the pirate Black Buckle Piers. See what he's doing.
All right, roll me.
That's the gentleman who was shooting at us, was? What?
That's what you were told.
All right.
Okay, roll me an intelligence check. See if you can't guide the orb to show you what you want to see. It's not as easy as saying "show me this."
15.
15's decent. 15 is decent. Yes, you hold the orb, you glance into it. It shows you the familiar ship of the Shifting Mist. A bit closer than you got to see it last time. Something about the way this ship moves in the mist is strange to you. It almost seems to elongate and then shrink, and then elongate and then shrink as the mist of the void just coalesce around it. Again, there is no barrier. It is just the void. You can see people on the deck, Um, probably about a dozen
What
in
do they
all.
look like?
Probably about a dozen in all. Um, some of them are quite obviously humanoid. Um, roll me a perception check at disadvantage as you are looking at it through this misty orb.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are humanoid. You can see bits of black tendrils snaking up their bodies. But somehow they are surviving in the void, in the vacuum that is the void. Um, others, while they have the shape of a human, they have the shape of a humanoid figure. They are slightly disfigured. Something is slightly off about them. Um, an extra eye here. Something just slightly
Out of place.
uncanny about them that shows that they have been tainted in some way. And you can see standing up on the the forecastle.
Yeah, that's all right.
I don't know sailing terms. Somebody will tell me I'm wrong, but standing up there where the steering wheel would be on an actual real ship, um, this hand on this midnight black orb. You saw the sword working on the Voided Maiden, and it was bright and pearlescent. This is midnight black, and it seems to emit darkness. This man has one hand on it. He's large. He's burly. He's got a long, peppered, salt and pepper beard, long shaggy hair, and clearly, in the middle of his bandolier, where he has several little flintlock pistols, is a buckle that seems to be the same as the void. It is midnight black. It seems to emanate darkness. You cannot hear what is being said, but he is barking orders to the people around. As his image pulls back a bit, you can see several large shapes around the ship. Third honor of some form or another. Some of the some of the
If
smaller
someone's in the
ones.
room listening to me, they can hear. I didn't actually believe he would have a black buckle. But go ahead. I'm murmuring that while I'm looking.
Several Terradorna around the ship. Some being the slightly smaller winged ones that are probably about the size of a minivan, something along those lines. Some as big as the ship, some a little bit bigger. They seem to be awaiting commands from the man you presume to be Black Buckle Pierce. You can tell on Black Buckle the snaking tendrils of black coming up nearly to his eye. Where else do you wish to
That's interesting.
do you wish to get more specific and push the orb, or
Do I get a feeling for how far away he is? Is he still searching for us, or is it?
roll me an intelligence check to see if
We just want to know if we need to worry about anything here.
Yeah.
And of course, my rolls are as impressive as last time.
Yep, that's how it goes. You can't gauge a distance, but you do get the feeling that he is looking for something.
I'll while I'm on the bed, I'll just shake the ball a little. Come on, tell me something else. I shake it like a little 8-ball, magic 8-ball. You know. But okay, after I get done with that, I wanted to go ahead and check in on my mentor, Corbin.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Corbin Glendweirvon, my mentor.
Yes, the orb. Make me another intelligence check to see how much information you get. How it's easier to guide this as this is closer. But
Oh my god!
you see
I'm
the
getting
circus.
tired.
You
Yeah,
see the
I'm just
circus
getting
trains
tired.
of Grindelbaum's circus. They are set up on lush land. It's bright. It's green. Trees with lush colors of different shades of oranges and reds. And then zoom in again to the animal wagon. And this lord's this place at base. Who Grindelbaum ironically named Fluffins.
Muffins?
Fluffins
Fluffins. Okay.
is pawing at Corvin as he is curled up, knowing that Fluffins cannot get to him. But still, he's in this situation that he is. You can almost taste the fear.
I'm going to try to tell Fluffins to back off. See if anything happens.
Are you simply telling him that, or are you channeling any energy behind it?
I'm using my every iota of my being to telling him to leave my master alone.
When you do that, both Corvin and the beast startled look up.
Interesting.
You do not hear anything, but it looks as if Corvin is trying to speak, but you cannot hear it.
Is there? I don't have read lipping. Or is there a chance that I could read his lips?
Roll me
I don't know what skill that would be.
I don't know that there's a spell for it. Just roll me a perception check. There is a feat for it, but. Oh.
Okay.
No, you
Okay,
cannot. You
okay.
cannot read his lips. That is a trick you never quite picked up. Without having lips yourself, it's hard to gauge.
This is live, people. You know it's live now because I just rolled 2 ones in a row.
2 in a row. Yep. That's how it. Sometimes the dice just want to tell a story, but I won't make you roll to realize that they heard something.
I think I probably startled myself when they actually did react because I just thought I was being a watching them.
Without having audio from the other side of the orb, you don't know if something else came in and startled them, or if it was your words that startled them. But something did startle them.
All right. And then the last but not least, my favorite enemy, Grindelbaum. Octavio Grindelbaum is who I wish to look in on, if possible.
Okay. Grindelbaum is in the same location as Corvin.
Well, hey,
that's
there
much
we
better.
go.
Yes. the scene shifts a couple of wagons over to the wagon you know that is Grindelbaum's. Extravagant, lots of textiles and stuff set up, a comfortable bed, much more comfortable than anything anybody else in his circus has. There's probably about 300 gold sitting on the table that he is in the process of counting through.
Greedy bastard.
You notice there's a map on the desk. It's of a store sector. You don't know anything about the maps, but you think if you saw this map again, you could recognize it. It is of a store sector. You can see in the center, of the map, even through the mist and the small thing, it says Red Dragon Stronghold. There's several other little islands scattered about the map. It looks like a map of the sea, but you know it is a map of the void. It's just the style that most cartographers use when they map the void.
Here be dragons, yeah.
There's a small paperweight of some sort that is sitting in the upper corner, the upper left corner of the map. It is sitting on one said fragment. You can't quite see what fragment that is. It's a smaller one. It seems to be surrounded by, on the map, this artistic style of a pearlescent warping water.
All right.
It's like you see him flipping through his books, and you know it's like this place has been relatively profitable. You get that sense to them.
I've probably been on his route for quite a while. I grew up in his circus. Is there any way that I might be able to, by the lush grounds and the trees with the red and the orange, would I might?
Roll me a history check.
All right. Yeah.
It's a 12. No, I mean you don't recognize it. He was on his check long enough that you think you should probably recognize the places that he goes, but you don't recognize this place, oddly.
Right.
It's different. Something strikes you as odd about it.
Okay. And if I have one last chance, I'd like to look in on the my old troop, the Encore, the ones that I was ripped from in my sleep, and see how they are doing.
Okay, remind me, what was your troop doing before you got ripped away that fateful night? Now it would have been about a week ago.
Yeah, they were just they play the areas that Grindelbaum isn't allowed to, and because of his shady underdealings. So, wherever you want to put me is
Okay.
fine.
All right. I didn't know.
And
I didn't remember if you had something specific written.
No, I don't have anything specific written down. I do know that there's 3 people in the troop besides just me.
You were on a one of the large fragments. You don't know enough about the sector mapping, the way that the void is being mapped currently. You don't know enough about it to know exactly where, but you know that you were on a large continent size fragment. You know that Grindelbaum tended to stay toward the areas that were close to the void barriers, so that if trouble arose, he could leave early. If a more profitable position arose, he could leave and get there. Um, so, with that being in mind, as soon as you were freed, you went off and found your troop, and you tended to stick inland. Um, you were in a fairly decent sized town. Uh, Not as large as Steelhaven is, but a decent sized town. By the name of Bogridge. It's a town on a little swamp basin up next against the mountains. You remember being told when entering the town by the guard not to cause any trouble. All this comes back to your mind as the orb takes you through Bogridge to the last place that you were performing. And then across the street to what is a small jail. You can see your troop is in one of the cells.
Oh,
You're not quite sure as of why, but your troop is in one of the cells. You know that one of your troop, and I'll let you decide which, tends to get drunk and rowdy. Another is a little bit of a klepto at times. Many reasons they could be in this jail cell. You
all right. We really hadn't fleshed out the
Yes.
encore, so we can put a pin in that and look in on them later when we have it all talked out. So,
Yes.
but yeah, that sounds like my troop.
Could be any reason. Could be in a drunk tank. Could have stolen something. Maybe it's something worse. But they are currently in a jail cell in the town of Bogridge on this large continental fragment that you don't know exactly where it is.
All right. After that, I'm probably just gonna pass out in my bed. I
Yes.
probably have used up enough that I can have a nice black sleep, dreamless.
Yes. All of you, as you sleep, your dreams are filled with, and it has been like this since the island. Since that eerie statue you saw that put these whispers into your head. You hear these whispers just emanating the entirety of what you are dreaming. There's no vision to it. It's simply whispers.
The whispers are just permeating everything.
Yes. It's hard to make out. And it is clearly in languages that you don't know. But roll me a d20, each of you. Just a flat d20.
I need to play a game where low is good. Please, can we do that, please?
I'm hoping the next rolls are a 3 and a 2.
Yeah, right?
Yes, it has to be.
Yes.
I'll roll for
Okay.
bug or skin peeler.
And Brady, if you are still with us. No way. No way.
Oh.
Alright. Being a skin pillar is not with us. Savas. You. Maybe it's something to do with the orb and the things that you saw in the orb. Maybe it's just the nature of this whispering, but it's much more intense than it has been. Soon. Soon we will be free. Once more. And again, this is a language that you know you don't understand, but for some reason the meaning is coming across. It's pure for you. Yes, sister. Soon. They will finish what it is that we started. It fades back into eerie whispers. You see flashes of the black stone of this statue that played such a instrumental part in the destruction of that plane that you had found yourself stranded on.
Hmm. Hmm.
Trauma.
And other than bad dreams, the occasional bit of rowdiness from downstairs doesn't bother you too much since you're exhausted. Seems to pass on, and the sun rises. You sleep well into mid-morning, 9, 10. The best night's sleep that you have gotten in quite some time despite the bad dreams. And we'll use the same old Trini there. Same the Trini. Rakal, you awaken first.
All right.
Oh yeah, I gotta take a rest then.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
we
get your
took a
long
long
rest. Yes.
So I'm
Nice.
going to try carefully and quietly get out of the hammock. Busy trying to think of why the hell was I asleep next to Marvin?
Yep. Yep. At some
Her
point,
head somewhat pounding a
at
little bit.
some point, y'all ended up spooning. So
What happens in
Best
the
night's
hammock
sleep
stays
I've
in the
had in a
hammock.
long time. Yeah, so as I get out, I'm just going to go straight towards the door and head downstairs, finding a
okay.
table and trying to get something to eat, I guess.
Yes, this early in the morning, it's pretty pretty deadish. There are a couple of people, looking like they're probably about to go out and work in some fields somewhere, maybe out on a fishing boat, um, grabbing a little bit of breakfast. Late risers, even such as yourself. Um, Elliot's at the bar. Oh, good morning. I
Uh,
hope you slept
morning.
well.
Uh, aside from some bad dreams, best sleep I've had in a long time.
That's great to hear. We don't have all that much of a breakfast menu. We can get some eggs for you. I can get a little bit of sausage. I could pour you a breakfast of champions. He holds up this glass. It's clearly already about half empty, and is this amber gold liquid that you recognize as the mead you've been drinking. A little bit of hair of the dog, as it were.
Oh, I think I'll have some eggs and sausage. Make sure there's extra sausage.
Okay, I can probably do that. Um,
Very large portion, please.
Emily is out checking on people, so I'm here alone. I'll get to it in a second. He doesn't look like he is rushing for it, but in about a minute and a half he gets up and he goes into the kitchen. And you hear some clattering around. Don't offer the breakfast if you don't want to make the breakfast. I'm coming. All right. Well, that's happening more than yeah, which is fitting. You probably awaken as Torcalis gently moves your arm, as he sneaks out of the hammock.
Yeah, I'm still got a bit of a headache from last night. I think I drank too much mead. I wake up with a bit of a sweat going. I don't know why. Maybe I had some bad dreams last night. I don't know what happened. But I'm gonna kind of flop out of the hammock and make my way to the bathing facilities to try and clean myself up. Now that
Ah,
I have a little, but every movement is agony. I did not expect the mead to hit me this hard.
yes. You come out onto the little platform and up, and you're into this room, and it's about 20 by 25. It's a windowless room. A pretty bright arcane light
If you wanna,
shining from the top. There are two tubs. At this point empty, but there are the facilities to pump the water and heat it up. A shelf full with various soaps and incense and deodorants and perfumes.
I'll just start running myself a bath. Just a plain bath, nothing fancy, no perfumes or anything. Maybe a little bit of soap. Just so I'm not just soaking.
Alright.
And lamenting to myself for not drinking more water.
It doesn't take you long to get cleaned up and to get clean. You're a small person after all. You probably soak and nurse your head for a little bit longer than you probably should have, but you are clean. Okay, Savas, as you awaken after those horrible dreams and the upsetting sights that you saw in the Orb of Longing.
yeah. I probably had such a bad night. I woke up in a bed full of mold, and
Yes, probably.
and it has happened before. It's not a big deal, so I'll deal with it. But I'll take my moltings and put them in my backpack and head on out. Try to find the baths. Did the laundry get done last night, or is it still out?
Yes, at some point the Bob, the red-headed boy, he came and he brought some cloth and maybe Torcal maybe he brought you some clothes, something. They weren't nice clothes, but they were clothes. And took your clothes, and you find them folded neatly outside the door when you leave.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch their clothes. And most of the clothes that they had probably wouldn't have fit me. I obviously need special tailoring.
Yes.
Since I have no legs, that kind of makes a big difference.
Kind of
But
just
I'll
a little bit.
slither on into the. I'll grab my clothes and I'll slither on into the to the bathroom. Is there only one bath?
There's a fairly large bathroom with a few tubs and dividers. Um, but it's not like only one person can be in there at a time, though.
As I come in, I'll go by Marvin.
Ah, good morning, Marvin. How did you sleep?
I slept. That's about as. It was asleep. Not my best, I have to say. How about you?
I had a very intense dream from those. I've been having them on the boat all the time, but this time I actually understood the voices when they were talking.
You heard voices in your dreams?
Yes, it's like the void was breaking through or something. But last night it was extremely vivid.
Hmm.
Before
That,
I could
that,
never remember anything, but till last night it was very clear.
that seems troubling. If I'm being honest, that there's no you remember voices in your dream. Yes, they could just be dreams.
Well, I was using that orb. You remember that one that I found?
Like,
And
yeah, but
I don't know if
what?
that made it more intense or made me more connected to the void. I don't know, but I was looking in on my friends and my enemies. It's very interesting. If you have anybody you want to find, I can show you how to use it.
So you were opening yourself up to finding people in Stillhaven or somewhere else?
It's very interesting. The orb, if you when I first used it based off of desire. It's what I wanted to know where my old troop and my old mentor was, and while I was holding it, I started to see visions from a overhead perspective of the places that I was wanting to know about. The more I could concentrate, the clearer the picture became. Whether they're
Fascinating.
real, I have no idea. I assume they are real because I used it to help us find the energy supply or sources for our ship. So they must be real.
And and you've been having growing nightmares since you.
I've been on a circus that I grew up in a circus that travels the void sea, and you never have a good night's sleep in the void. Things try to talk to you. Without the shield, we would all go insane. But last night it was as if the voices were very clear instead of being muffled, and I would wake up without knowing what they meant. It's this way. This time it was very vivid.
Good, good, good to know. Um, where do you keep that orb?
Oh, it's right here, and I have it in a little pouch on my belt.
Okay. Can I, if you don't mind, can I take a look at that?
Be my guest, and I'll hand him the pouch.
I would like to. I know we've probably already done this, but I want to um detect magic on it. See if I can determine what school of magic is on this orb.
Okay.
And let's start with that, and I'll go there.
How you can you don't have ritual casting in that same way, but are you ritually casting it or using a spell slot?
Um, Considering we're in the bathing area and just kind of standing at the bath, I'll just use a spell slot to cast detect magic.
Okay, as you are not fussing over the orb, it does not right off activate. Um, it's definitely magic. It gives off pretty heavy divination magic. Or
Can I tell if this divination magic or this divination aura, if this is one way or two way?
let me an Arcana check.
Sure. $15. All right.
Okay, with a 15, you don't get an indication anyway. Um, you're not old enough to remember the time before the shattering. Um, as some of your race might be, but you're not. Um, but you know that divination magic has a hard time crossing the void a lot of times. But this seems much stronger. You would imagine if somebody knew how to tap into it that it could work two ways, but you cannot tell that it definitely works two ways.
I'll hand it back and I'll say it. I don't know how to put this, but sometimes when we're listening to somebody, somebody else is listening to us. Does that make sense?
It does. I understand that.
I want you to be careful when you're using this. It may not be harmful, but it sounds like it's affecting you already. And we've only had it for about a week at this point. I worry that it would would become a burden to you if you keep using it heavily.
1, 2, 3, 4. Skin peelers here. Um, uh,
If you're willing, we could
Ahoy, mateys!
if you're willing, we could take it to the temples and have someone there take a look at it. I'm not sure.
I
I'm not sure
assumed,
who would be best. But
I assumed it was in a red dragon's, treasure hoard, so I'm sure it's was used by him, and I doubt he would have probably used something if he felt like he was going to be watched himself. Don't you?
dragons can be greedy. They may ignore short-term consequences for long-term gain.
One thing I do know about dragons is they do not want anybody knowing where they're hoarded.
True.
Is true, but he also might have had more time to study it and be around it and figure out the problems before that. But yes, this is something that I've never encountered before, so we will take it step by step and be very careful with it. If you wish, I shall use it when only you or Torcaller and or Skin Peeler, for God's sake, if it must be, is around. But I do have a feeling that this will it allows us to detect people, and it might come in very handy.
I agree. It could be. It sounds like it could be a very powerful tool. I just don't want to. I wouldn't want to rely on it, and then find out that it's been working to harm us as well.
Yes, I would like to know the origins of it. That would help us immensely. So,
I
yes.
think that would give me some great peace of mind as well. Knowing where it comes from would be best.
I'm pretty sure a temple would be able to divination that and be able to determine if the gods allow, if they are still talking to the temples. I haven't been in a temple myself, so I do not know if the augury is still available for the temples.
I can tell you that temple folk do a lot of talking to their gods.
Well, I
We
didn't know
don't.
because of the void. That's why I was asking. So, yeah.
And we don't hear a whole lot back. But it happens sometimes.
That's why I was going to go to a magic shop. I know that there are divination wizards that have the same abilities, and maybe they don't rely on one god. Maybe they just use put the word out and see what happens. Might be worth looking into as well.
It might be, actually. Let's go get you get yourself cleaned up. Let's go get breakfast. And
Oh, I've
then
already molted. I'm just trying to wash off all the slime. It'll be just a second, and I'll be right out. And he ducks his head under the water.
Skin pillar. After a night of drinking and merriment, I'm happy to be back on solid land. Um, you've retired to bed, and you awaken in the morning, feeling relatively refreshed, though you have had bad dreams. I won't describe again. Um,
Am I clean?
you are far from clean.
All right, get get the sham wows and pressure sprayers out because
I'm
I'm
getting
getting
clean.
clean.
Yes, I think me and Marvin we wanted to hit the bath before you got in here because we know what's going to happen when you come to the stuff.
Only
Only
because
I'm covered in my victory.
all right, that voice is like really killing me, so I'm probably going to use it sparingly.
Oh, well, good. You don't need to talk so much anyway.
Yes, Skinpillar, you make your way to the bathroom, probably just as Marvin and Marvin and Voss are leaving.
All right.
It's a
I'm assuming.
relatively good sized room. It's this room here. It's a relatively good sized room. It is a couple of tubs, some room dividers, plenty of soaps and perfumes and incense.
Well, I'm a bugbear, so I don't know how aromatic I can be, but I'll try.
I'm picturing the scene from Beauty and the Beast where the Beast has his like face fell breeders.
Yeah,
Like, I look
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. Exactly.
But yes, it takes you 5 or 10 minutes, but you wash up as best as you can. Probably a little bit too much perfume, not knowing really what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's accurate.
and
Even now.
I assume you all make your way down to the bar for a little bit of breakfast. So I assume you're all together down in the bottom floor, down here.
we probably would all have met up with Carkle whatever table
Yes.
they're sitting at.
Um, Y'all can select the table. The bar is the pub is pretty much empty at this point in time in the morning. There are a few people, like I said, doing some mid-morning routines, getting a little bit of food. It's quite different from the rowdiness that it was the night before. My technology today, man.
Yeah, I probably don't eat too many times a week, so my one chicken will suffice for at least a couple days.
Something like that. But yes,
You missed me eating my chicken, Craig. Sorry.
the
You can fill me in later.
you okay, it's not gonna let me. That's strange. I'll figure it out later, I guess. You gather around the table. You have some breakfast. Elliot getting back into his more typical self. Ah ha ha ha! Ah, good morning, good morning. I hope you like eggs, because that's all I made. Eggs and sausage. And he slams
You
a
just
slams a nice big wood platter down on the table with a pile of sausage and a thing of scrambled eggs. Like most people don't ask for breakfast here.
You know, Skip Beeler, having reach, he as he pushes it towards
Who's that? Marvin and Torcall is.
Torcall. He stabs a couple sausages and a scoop of eggs, and just takes them back to himself. Don't worry about passing it.
yeah, you see Torgal absolutely shoving his face. It is with the way that he's eating. It is a wonder how he's able to fit all the food in his body.
I've known kids like that, so yeah.
Yeah.
I was one of those kids.
Yeah, exactly.
I still am one of those kids.
Fuck you, Brandon.
I got my fast metabolism, okay?
I mean that with love. You know.
But yes, the city and the day is yours. At this point, it's probably about 10 in the morning.
So, Marvin, you said that you might have an idea where a magic shop might be.
Sure. Yes, I've spent a little bit of time in the docks here. Sure, I can find a magic shop or two.
Yes, I would like to buy some scrolls and maybe increase my repertoire of spells.
Yes, outside of the actual market districts, you know that there are several places down in the warehouses and the docks that have that or have that kind of thing or could procure it fairly easily. One place stands out as you did quite a bit of business with him. It's ran by a Tabaxi and a Kinku. And it is called the Odd Couple Emporium.
I like it.
It's down in the docks. It's relatively out of the way. But you know that if something can be procured, that
What kind of emporium?
Odd Couple Emporium.
Odd couple. Okay.
we get a discount if we're called the Bad News Bears?
Probably not.
Damn it!
So yeah, we can go to the Odd Couple Emporium. They might have some good stuff.
Odds
if
and
you're not
ends.
too,
They have some pawn stuff.
if you're not too worried about the provenance of the magical items, then they're a good place to go.
I'm more about the actual scrolls. I want to acquire some new spells. I was
You would know
very
that
limited on what I would be able to cast as a child.
the places that have that kind of stuff would probably be some of the more uppity shops around the Collective or the Temple district. But the places around the docks might have some, but the selection might not be as good as going up to either the Collective compounds or the Temple district.
We could go to the Temple district and find some scrolls there. They might have something useful.
Yes, we can ask them about the orb as well. That's a good idea.
Good, yeah. And if anyone wants to go near the Collective Guild House, they're welcome to go. I'll be shopping.
Well, we do have to see what the kind of a job is for the wood, so that would be maybe our first stop, and then the Temple District afterwards.
Oh, why don't you all go on ahead without me? I've got an appointment I have to keep in the city. I just remembered.
Ah, very well.
Skimpeeler says, wherever my captain goes, that's where I'll be.
You were falling asleep at the table when we were talking last night. We're going to try to go to the North Woods and collect some void wood for our boat.
Did the captain want this?
It's the only way the ship is going to get repaired. So yes, that's what he wants.
All right. I ain't riding no airplane, as Mr. T would say. Anyway,
We'll just give you some tranquilizer and milk.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. I definitely wanted to ride an airship, but they don't go over the mountains, so I can't. I'm very upset.
There are some that go over the mountains. That's not the problem. The problem is the trees, you see. It's once you get over the mountains, they don't land in the forest very well. If all you wanted to do is ride an airship over the mountains.
Have trees and all that, but there will be clearings. Not small ones, but there will be.
If all you want to do is ride an airship over the mountains, I'm sure we can arrange for that. That shouldn't be a problem at all.
I mean, don't we kind of ride around in a void ship? We get to see a void, and whenever we enter these domains, we kind of already are flying through the skies.
That's one way to look at it. I consider the void milk to be the ocean. That's how I keep my sanity about it.
I dislike the descriptor you just used.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sorry, are you drinking milk? Is that the problem?
No, he works at Sonic. I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay, well, I think we need to go to the guild and let Marvin do his business, and then we can meet up with him in the Temple District.
Okay. You all, sans Morven, come out of come out of the inn. It's fairly bustling in the city streets. There's a train system that runs along the major parts of the city. To walk up to the collective district would probably take you 30 minutes to an hour or so. To take the train would cost you some, but it would be decisively quicker.
If they got a rickshaw to ride in, I'm fine with that. But if we got to walk, we just walk the way we came down.
Like I said, there is a train system. To walk up to the collective complex is 30 minutes to 45 minutes. It's not just a stroll. You're walking across a fairly large city. It's also not the farthest point of the city. So, but there is a rail system. Runs slightly elevated. A lot of these buildings go up, 5-10 stories. And the rail system runs alongside them.
Yeah, I'd love to ride the train system if it goes that way.
Okay, you have to go a couple of blocks before you find the nearest platform. Some walkers
as well.
Some walkers around trying to sell different tabloids. Various little market stalls set up in the street selling mundane goods.
Oh, just so you know, it's just habit, but I'm gonna definitely be watching for people following this.
Yes. Okay. You come up on this train platform. You climb the stairs. There's about a flight and a half of stairs to get up to it. Doesn't take a couple of minutes before this okay then. It doesn't take but a couple of minutes for the train to come along. Next stop. Next.
Like there?
It's in here somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere around in here. Says, man opens the door, says, get your tickets here. Get your tickets here. Collective complex.
And I shall get a ticket.
Yeah.
Yes,
Skin peeler.
I shall take one.
That's a silver for you, friend.
A silver? That's outrageous to ride for one train stop.
It's the only train.
Skin peeler will slam the silver down and say, "Are you sure?" and intimidate.
Roll me an intimidation check. Well, yeah, roll me an intimidation skill check. See how that goes.
Is he using strength or is he using his charisma?
It's gonna be charisma. That's not really a feat of strength to slam down a silver coin.
So do I have to go to the character?
Yeah, pull up your character sheet.
All right.
Strength is you click strength and it'll ask you for an ability check or something. Yeah, there you go. Or wait, you wanted intimidation.
Yes, intimidation.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm sorry, that's an actual freaking
All right. Well, fuck that one. And go with this one. I'm intimidating as fuck.
Yeah, y'all heard the confetti. The man looks you up and down. This is, you know, I have had bigger than you for breakfast. You ain't intimidating me out of this. That's a silver. In fact, you might take up 2 seats, so it's 2 silver.
Really?
Um,
All right.
all right.
In that case, Skin Peeler slams down the 1 silver, and he says, "I'd like hash browns with that."
The man says, let's get on the chain. Don't make me call the rifle corps.
This is highway robbery. I'll slap mine down.
Oh. Did that work for Skin Peeler?
He took the 1 silver and told you to get on the train before he called the rifle corps. You did not intimidate this man.
That's fine. As long as I'm getting on.
Okay, I gotta go make some dinner. I'll be right back.
Torko, you going with them to the guild hall, or trying to stick around with Morven to see what he is doing?
I'm going to stick around with Marvin.
All right.
I'm sure we need to stick together.
Then, as the train ride has happened, Morven, what are you and Torko doing about the city?
I'm probably gonna head actually towards the temple district, more to scout it out ahead of time and see if anything's changed over the last little while.
Some question, are you making the slightly less than an hour walk, or are you going to wait for one of the public transit systems to come around? You know, there's a train that goes out to the Temple District, but it does not run quite as often as the ones between the Collective Compound and the Living District and the main portion of the city that's store water.
I would probably walk, actually. Take the walk over there. Seems like a nice day. I'll do that. And I'm gonna stop on the way to see if I find any, pastry shops or anything like that, just as a
There's
nice
all kinds of little markets and such selling various pastries and pies and street foods and full-on restaurants.
I'm more looking for. I'll purchase a couple of hand pies for myself and Torkel to make our way, unless Torkel wants to take the public transit. But I'll be walking.
I like to walk.
These feet were made for walking, so.
And that's just what they'll do.
Love it.
All right. So you walk. You pick up some pastries for a few copper on the way. Just some real good hand pies. It takes. You're not walking particularly hurried, so it takes about an hour. On the trip, you hear 2 members of the Rifle Corps talking to this older woman. This is before you exit the city walls. Ma'am, it is not our problem if little Timmy wandered off. I don't know. We have so many missing persons cases right now. I don't know what to tell you. He's probably found himself a young lady friend down in the living district, and he's probably there. Teenage boys will be teenage boys after all. We will look as we have to. But I can't make you that promise. We've had 14, 15 missing cases in the last 3 days.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna mosey on over there.
Oh, same here.
Sorry to interrupt. Did I just hear you say 14 missing cases in the last 3 days?
He looks about, and then he looks down. Oh, yeah. It's... I don't know what's going on. Mostly from the living district. They... Just... people not showing up to work. People not showing up to the shifts at the docks. And now, this young boy didn't come home last night.
Definitely sounds a little bit
We've had
fishy.
even a couple guards that have not shown up to shifts. It's a thing. Not in the rifle court, obviously. He pats the large rifle that is slung over his shoulder. But some of the various regular town guard, they ain't showed up to shifts. So we are short-staffed. He looks back at the woman. Go check the living district. Make sure he hasn't taken up with some young woman down there. Can I help you with anything else?
I think I'm okay. Why don't you fine gentlemen go along your way? Keep protecting the city. Do the best you can.
Keep out of trouble. And they go back into the city. It's like, the best we can. That's whatever.
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry. Is it your son that went missing?
Yes. He's 12. He didn't. He's always out running around the city. He's always out. We live in the city. It's generally a safe place, but he didn't come home last night. I mean, I guess he could have found himself a little girlfriend, but I don't know.
Well, if he's 12, I don't think there'll be much of the case, and from the sound of it, there's definitely something a little odd going on. Ma'am, is there any place where we can find you a little bit later after we've attended to some of our business? Maybe my friends and I could find him.
Oh, that would be so nice of you if you manage. Yes, she points back over her shoulder to this large duplex brownstone type building. And says, I live there in A.
All right. We'll try come visit you before sundown, and just to ask a couple of questions.
Oh, okay. If I'm not there, just leave me a note where I can find you, and I'll definitely come and find you. I'm gonna take Sergeant Phillips. There's one. I'm gonna take Sergeant Phillips's advice and go look in the living district. See if any of his friends may have seen him.
All right, we have our first Phillip usage.
It only took
Oh,
me
that was
only took
crafty
me
one there.
only took me 12
An
hours.
hour.
But
Oh,
2
all right.
hours. It only took me 2 hours and 11 minutes. Surprising. But yes. Do you continue along your way, or?
Yeah, I guess we go up to the temple.
Alright.
Do I have any inkling that
Alright.
people at the Temple District might have an idea what's going on with the disappearances?
You would know that the Temple District is more along the lines of a school than it is an actual temple. I mean, it serves the function of a temple,
Oh,
but it's really used. Its main focus is education.
But that means that there are some pretty smart people there that might be able to help. So
Yeah.
yeah.
They might have information.
Yeah. As we're on our way, I kind of turn to Marvin.
So, with you and your holy powers, which god do you worship or goddess?
I will point to my cornucopia amulet and say, I worship the goddess Yondella. She's she's the mistress of luck.
Ooh, that's rather interesting. I don't know the goddess's name that I worship, but I think she saved me once.
Well, I mean, my God saved me as well. That's how those good works work. Not sure I'm saying that right, but you know, the people who worship these gods, the good people that do it, they help anyone they can, right? That's what you mean, right? When you say your God helped you.
I don't know, there was a being of light that when I woke up.
So
Said something about destiny. Well, didn't really say anything, just showed up. I had a feeling.
so direct intervention.
Yeah, I guess you could say so. I don't remember much before that. In fact, I've only been traveling for about a good few months now.
Would I have any idea of any gods that could? Because my understanding is that a lot of the gods don't have the ability to interfere with any of the physical planes, I guess, in the same way. But do I know of any that might be powerful enough to pierce that veil? Or
In all honesty, you don't know what effect the shattering may have had on gods and their planes.
all right,
For all you know, the planes of the various gods could be floating around out there in the void, just like everything else.
well, that's very interesting. I guess the direct intervention of a god to wake you up. You said.
Yeah, I found myself on my own on a small little fragments. Shortly after that, I found myself where you guys found me, and I stayed there for a little while.
Oh, so you really haven't been traveling very long at all.
No, not really.
Well, I have to say I'm glad to know you then. If you're newly on the road and have been touched by a
Perhaps
god,
very soon.
perhaps we'll find out more about which god it is when we get to the temple district. There's some
Yeah.
people there that we might be able to talk to.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of help.
Alright, you leave the city walls, walk across some of the small buildings that are outside of this main city wall, that surrounds the Starwater district.
Is that the temple people?
Yeah, that's where they're heading.
All right.
A couple of small shops, some houses of various farmers, a couple of large boarding houses that house a lot of the workers that work in the fields out there. When the shattering happened, this land that was unused had to very quickly become fertile land. And they grow various grains and vegetables. They've gotten quite good at cultivating this hilly land before they come across the mountain range. It's not but another about a mile or two, and you find yourself in the temple district. This walled complex of high buildings, various steeples and bell towers. It gives you more of a feeling of a college campus than anything else. But you're at the walls of the temple district, and let's move back to our folks on the train. You
I'm sorry, that's from one of the kids that I work with.
I
He loves
love
trains.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
And the train has this eerie rocking as it travels relatively quickly. Whatever is propelling this train along on the tracks, it doesn't seem like it's a steam engine. It seems like it's some kind of arcane power. You don't know. But it's fast, and it kind of rocks back and forth as it moves. It's not necessarily a comfortable ride. But you arrive at the stop up here around the collective complex.
Skin Peeler would like to hold his hands up like on a roller coaster, but he doesn't want to hit the ceiling. So he's very careful to bend his fingers down when he does that. Anyway.
All right. Yeah. The train ride, as opposed to the 45-minute walk that you had the night before, is much quicker.
Is
You
it a
make it
silver
there.
piece worth quicker?
Yeah, probably.
Here?
Yes, you
Is that
exit.
where we get off? All right.
You exit in this area somewhere is where the station would be.
Okay.
Get off. These buildings are almost to modern city levels of height. Different office complexes. As you get closer to the shipyard, the buildings become more sparse, but it is just that, an active shipyard. With a few city blocks on the other side, and then a lot of smaller, like, lumber yards and stuff over in this area here.
Okay. Skin Peeler will
It's an odd
look
juxtaposition.
Crash and say, Claire, where are you going?
Well, we're going to the guild. What was it? The guild complex? Is that what?
Yes, the Guild Hall is the name
Guild
of
hall to see what kind of jobs we need to get
Yes, you
for the law.
find the Guild Hall pretty quickly. It serves as both a pub and an inn for this area of the city, if you are part of the collective, as well
Okay.
as well
Not really.
as well as offices for picking up various jobs that the collective needs done, if you are not part of the collective. But yes, you enter the guild hall. It's a large room. It's got a It looks like it might be a fighting pit in the middle of it.
Uh-oh.
Tables set around. Several boards up about with different jobs posted on it. There's an elderly gentleman sitting behind this desk as you enter. He's like, I don't recognize you.
Could you?
What's your business?
What building?
No, I don't think it really.
I guess it doesn't matter. But all right.
I'll go up to the board and start looking at stuff, and as they ask me, I'll look over my shoulder and say, "Yes, we're from Captain Troy's boat. We were told by the dockmaster, Mr. Thomas, that we can find a job here that's related to the Northwoods lumber.
Ah, you're one of
Something
Ed.
about Void Wood.
Ah, you're one of Ed's guys. I thought I had heard that Ed was back, but I didn't know nothing about it. Ah, yes. He funnels through the books. That job is in progress, but I was told that we could send backup. That would be a good thing. We had some guys leave about a couple days ago. It's a hard trip through the mountain, and then you gotta worry about the woods and finding the right spot. But yeah. I mean, we were told to get some people together and send backup. If you want that job, the pay is only a couple hundred gold, but you know, He looks through the books some more.
Captain, but a couple hundred gold will ease the burden of doing the work.
Skinkeeler says,
if I could beat the guy in the pit, will you give us the entire job payout?
Craig, they've already left. We're back up for them. It's not going to work that way.
The pit's really more for settling disputes and a little bit of entertainment at nighttime. He looks you up and down. He's like, "I'd bet a few gold on you if you came out and fought in the pit. You might have to hook us up. We're not that underground red light group. They get a bit too rowdy. We got some rules, but you know, you could probably make a few gold. But you'd have to pay your collective dues first."
Perhaps another time then.
Well, yeah, he thumbs through the book and he picks out this page. He's like, "Well, here's the details. Let me see. Do I have a map? I've got a map. It's. I can't just give you the map. Let's see. A gold? If you don't have a map of the fragment already."
All right. Skinkeeler will.
So wait, we have to pay a gold for a map?
For the location of
well, if you were a member of the collective, I could probably let go of it for cheaper. But you see, we gotta, anybody else has to pay the dues. I'm not even supposed to sell it to you.
Factor it into our money that our captain owes us. That's fine. I'll give him a gold.
He takes the gold and he pockets it and hands you the map, and it's a pretty detailed map. And it shows some of the paths through the woods, and it shows the little area marked that says tainted wood. You see, hiring cartographers is a bit expensive. You see, it takes us a bit. Ed understands, but then again, Ed. Actually, I don't know if Ed has paid his dues this quarter.
So, just you might know. No one else has been able to tell me. How much does a sky ship cost to get over the mountains?
If you're complaining about a gold, you're not going to want to charter a skyscraper.
Just give me the price, please.
There you go.
He fumbles through. He looks through his books. He says, "Yes, the fair end is probably the cheapest. That's 500 gold for a trip.
Round trip?
It's about the only one that you can get to. Well, it's 500 gold to charter the ship for a day.
Oh.
That's about the only one you're gonna find that within that price range to go over the mountains.
Very well.
Their trade routes quite often go farther to the south. So a couple of the
I'll
other
just
small
ask him
towns.
for the job descriptions and stuff, and I'll be on my way.
Yeah, he hands you the papers. He hands you the paperwork. Yeah.
I work on a boat. Why am I traveling through mountains? God damn it!
It's a
Good
good
point.
But anyway, we'll now at least we know which route we're going to take, so we can plan for our trek. It's only a few hundred gold. Probably going to cost us more for getting a damn tent in this city.
Mm-hmm.
Big cities cost money.
They do. They do. But yes,
Is,
you
uh,
have the job posting. You have vague instructions on how to get to the area that you need to go.
All
All right.
Is
Is
there,
there
any
any
way
way
we can
we
meet
can meet
there
there
for
for
our
our
companions?
companions?
Yes, we're meeting them in the Temple District.
Oh,
Oh,
we're actually going there. All right.
Yes, there's a train out to the Temple District. You wait maybe 10 minutes. It does not run as often as the train that runs the main line. It's a different person. It's a small gnome. He's like, yeah, all aboard. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Temple District. This is the last one out for the day, I think. No, there's one more coming back before dusk. But this is the last one out for the day. Get your tickets. Temple District.
All right.
We should,
We should get one.
Yeah. Yeah. Another silver?
Yep, that's a silver. That's right. At least the train doesn't charge by distance. You know that would be lame. It's just a silver for ticket. You could, if you remember the collective, you could. There's a day pass you can buy, but.
I'm not joining no fucking collective, so quit asking me all that stupid shit.
And I slap my damn silver down.
He takes your silver and he puts it in the little pouch around his waist.
Computer says, I don't know what an address is. For an account, get it? Ew.
Yeah.
The address would be your ship, I have a feeling.
Address could be my arse.
But yes, you get on the train, and it's a much nicer ride than the last one. It moves along. It has the same little shaking bit to it, but within about 5 minutes or so, you come out through these lush fields of different stuff. You see the elevated train tracks going over them. You look down upon the people working the fields. And then you come across this temple district again, a lot of high buildings with steeples and bell towers. I would say once you get off the train here that the four of you probably meet in the center courtyard. You'd probably catch each other across the courtyard.
Is there any lines that run to the small town that we're trying to get to?
Train lines? That's a good
Yes.
question. There's some train lines.
500.
If you're going by what the guy said, it's only a silver because it's not a problem with how much distance it is.
There is a road that goes to Small Town and northward across the mountains. There's a mountain pass.
Of course.
Nobody has been brave enough to try and run a track over the mountains. The person
It's
to
so
do it,
close.
the person to do it would probably make it a toll track, and it would probably cost a little bit more because of the amount of work it would be to tunnel. It's a fairly wide mountain range.
If we offer to secure the road, wouldn't that be worth a bounty?
We're not going to stick around and watch a road while they build.
I'm not watching the road. I just want to get there and kill all the shit in between.
There is a mountain pass. Skimpilly, you would know this, having been in the Stillwater district at the very least for a while. There is a mountain pass. It is from the docks of the Stillwater district to Small Town. It's probably about a day and a half trip.
Okay.
If you run into trouble in the pass, it might be a little bit longer. It might be a little bit less if the road's clear.
All right. If we offer to clear it, is there any compensation?
No.
I can try. You're always asking for levels.
People are looking at you on the train like, compensation?
Oh,
What's
well,
he talking about? But yes, the four of you meet back up in the courtyard of the temple district. There's a large statue. It's of a bearded man. Clearly somebody of import to the temple.
Yeah,
Does
I'll
he-
look for Marvin and for Torqual.
Yeah, you see them fairly simply. They're standing there about the statue, and the four of you are back together.
I'll slap the information into Marvin's hand and frustratedly say,
I understand why you do not like the collective.
Yes, that's. I'm sure that what you went through is exactly the same thing I went through with the collective. Absolutely.
And they're awful damn proud of their trains, too.
I'm. Yes, they are. Those trains are useful, though. I can't say that there's no reason to be. Anyway, let's. I'm gonna see if I can find someone of. I mean, you said there's someone who looks important, but.
Well, that's the statue. You'd know that the actual temple of the temple building is behind an additional set of walls. There's a couple of the rifle corps standing guard there. Several large buildings. You see children and young adults of all ages coming and going. Not many tourists, mostly students and teachers, but
I'm going to see if I can find any sort of posted map of the grounds or anything. I'm looking for. Well, I'm looking for a divination school. Really, primarily a divination school.
all right. Yeah. You find the map. It has the big "You are here," and it lists off several of the different establishments here. You see that they teach classes from everything from basic primary grade school stuff all the way up to full-fledged, magic classes. There is a diviner wizard that teaches some classes here. You don't necessarily find a school for diviners, but you do come across Professor Luminaire. He is a diviner. he teaches several classes on basic magic, cantrips, and how they affect your life.
Like divination.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what the where my orb came from.
Yeah, you see several shops set up for different types of things. There are some scroll shops. There are some shops that share various focuses meant for students. But you check about and you find that Professor Luminaire is currently teaching a class in the main building, in the temple itself. He's teaching a seminar on the gods and how they guide us.
Well, I'm definitely eyeing the scroll shop.
Well, if we're waiting for his class to finish,
Yeah,
then yeah, we might as well go shopping first.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, welcome to Scrolls and Stuff. Can I help you?
Nice.
Yes, I'm looking for some spells to scribe.
Oh, spells to scribe. It's that written shit. We can do that. Anything in particular you are looking for?
Well, obviously, you probably have detect magic around here. They're pretty common, obviously, in this area of the world.
Ah, detect magic. Let me see. They go digging through this pile of, this pile of stuff. It's like, yeah, everybody and their mother needs a detect magic scroll every once in a while. What, did some lady snake give you a cursed present at some time?
Ha
I was just asking because it's happened to me. Yeah, I used not to need these. He adjusted glasses is on his face.
So I actually look at.
So you have seen another snake?
Oh no, not a snake. Just
A one
old woman. Oh. No. I was making a joke about my ex-girlfriend. She was a witch, literally.
I see. Do you have the scroll?
Yeah, I've got a few. I'm trying to find prices for spell scrolls. Cause God bless 5e, but they did not exactly say, this is how much these magical items cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. 50 gold, that's a fairly common spell. Everybody needs it. Like I said, everybody's had a cursed gift given to them at some point or another. Love potion gone wrong, that kind of thing. He said
Okay, just before we get too much started, I'm just going to say I only have less than 300 gold, so this is going to be really quick and easy if if all of this is going to cost 50 or plus gold.
Cards on the table. Chris has got a limit.
You also
His
have
allowance.
It's not even that. It cost me 50 gold to scribe it into my book anyway. So it's 100 gold right out of my fucking pocket for detect magic. So no, I don't think I'll be worried about it. All right.
$200. Going, gone.
No, I'm not doing it. So. Okay, I'll come back when I have more money. This is.
Hey,
being
you gotta spend money to make money.
A wizard sucks. No, obviously, but Marvin has detect magic, so we really don't need it quite that bad.
Well, we could purchase some inks and parchments and what have you, and I could whip you up a scroll of detect magic, and you can do with that what you will.
Can you scribe scrolls?
I should be able to. I haven't tried it before, but
I know, but when you create a scroll, it costs you more money. I mean, it's not just 50 gold for you to scribe it. It's creating a scroll costs an uber amount of money. It's stupid.
Unless you are
I never
scribes wizard.
understood.
Yeah, unless you are scribes wizard.
It's just stupid. Yeah. So okay, I'll find it later, I guess.
I'm still looking. It might be. Oh, that one's not there. So
No, 5e actually was even back in Unearthed Arcana, the original 3.5.
I'm just having to judge it off of that. It would be a common magical item, and go from there. So
common magical item consumable would be 50 gold.
yeah, that's the guide I'm looking at.
Yep.
But yes.
Well, if it's going to cost me 50 gold, then we need to start finding more money.
More money, more scrolls. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just window shop and then I'll leave because I'm not going to worry.
Wizard needs a new pair of scrolls.
Start finding some spell books.
Yeah. We'll get there.
But yes, you continue to peruse other little stalls about, or
No, it's probably going to cost more money for the divination wizard, so I don't think we can even afford to do it. I can't afford to do that.
Is this have a place where we can commission the skyship?
that would not be in the temple district. That'd probably be in the collective complex or somewhere in the Starwater district, depending on what vessel you would commission a skyship from.
So I guess we're getting together, getting our stuff, going to the collective.
Oh, we've done with the collective. We just got to go to the North Woods and find the.
Well, yeah, but the only way to get there is to go here.
No, you followed the South Road to Small Town.
Okay.
And we're going from the Temple District, so I think we just need to buy our supplies in the Temple District if it's there, and it's a college town, so I'm sure that they have some potato chips and beer, and that's probably all we'll need from.
So let me get this straight. We're going through the mountains. We're clearing the pass.
We're not clearing the pass. We are
Oh.
just going to the North Wood, Craig.
All
So,
right.
The road is just how we're going to get there because it's cut through the mountains.
Okay. It sounds an awful like what I was trying to negotiate a minute ago, but all right.
Who are you negotiating with? We're just going through the mountains.
All right.
There's no one saying you can't go through the mountains unless you clear it for me. There's nothing doing there. It's just we're traveling through the mountains through small town.
Point me and I'll kill.
That's not it. It's just,
Oh man!
if you want to be the troll under the bridge and guard the road until someone drives by, that's fine. But we're actually trying to get somewhere, so we're not going to wait around, right?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of getting somewhere, before we leave, we should probably leave the notes at that lady's house. As that turns Malden.
Oh, yes, that's right. That lady. That reminds me, we should ask around to see if anyone knows about these disappearances. I totally forgot in my haste to find scrolls and learn about this orb.
Well, if you want to, I can wait around for the divination wizard, and you can, track down this the missing women.
How do you know about missing women?
It's not just.
It didn't sound too nefarious. It just they didn't show up for work. I mean, they might have found a different job.
How do you know about that?
Well, it's not our business; it's their business. But if you feel like you need to look into it. I understand. If anything comes of it, I will help.
All right. Yeah, there's been a lot of missing people in the past 3 days, and a lady's missing her 12-year-old son.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're not on the train. It costs too much.
Yeah, we
And I-
offered to help. Ask questions a little later. But for now, we should probably give her a note saying we'll pop by another time to help with the situation.
He's so greedy.
Yes, that would be. We did sort of promise we would tell her something today, right?
Hey, you did say you'd stop back by. Roll me an, short of stopping everybody, roll me an investigation check. As you are talking to various students and teachers as they come around.
Alright. Okay. Nope.
Yes, Marvin, you attended the temple when you were a boy to learn some of your primary stuff. Of course, your specific training was done elsewhere, but you did some of your primary stuff. You find one of your old teachers, a rising old elf. I mean, he's quite old at this point. Oh, Marvin, I heard you got into some trouble. Did you ever sort all that out?
Yes, with some luck, I did, of course.
Oh, yes. You were always such a good boy. I didn't know what would happen. He reaches into his bag and he pulls out a hard candy. He said, "Candy."
Yes. I'll take the candy and.
He reaches and he offers to the rest of you candies. He wants some candies.
Oh, I'm definitely taking a candy. I'm taking a handful and shoving it in my mouth, swallowing it whole.
Oh no, just one or two. I've got to save some for the children.
Yeah. So-called goblin nature is definitely showing through.
And
Skin peeler
Abstains.
he
I'll flick my
pops,
tongue out and then I'll immediately jump back. I don't want any of that.
and he'll pop one in his mouth. Caramel. It's excellent. But yes, you're asking about people disappearing. I have been hearing about that myself. We had a couple of altar boys that from one of the older classes. They didn't show up to their shift. They were already done with school and all, and they came back to help with the shrines in the temple. A couple. It was just, they were good boys too. I taught them. I teach a lot. I teach most of the children that come through here. I wouldn't think they would just flake out, but sometimes when children get older, they become not children, and not children can have some troubles.
Yes, I guess they can.
But I
not
haven't.
children definitely have more issues.
I haven't looked into it, but it surprises me on some of the people that have been, that have not shown up to stuff. We have a life outside of the school. I had a friend, and she just did not show up to tea, and we have tea every week. Every week we have tea. I would have never thought she would have just flaked on me like that, but it happens. It happens.
And no one knows where these people are getting to.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of time to check into it. I don't have a lot of time to check into it, but I couldn't get in touch with her after tea. I tried to send her a letter, and Koya could not find her. That was a couple of days ago.
And have you spoken to the guards about it?
No, I just figured she had a bad day. I figured I'd see her next week at tea. Until all the other people, until all the others, started not showing up and vanishing. It's like I always told you when you were a child. If something seems like a coincidence, it probably is not.
Well, Professor, what changed 3 days ago? Anything that you've noticed? You've always been pretty perceptive. I'm sure you would have noticed something.
He thinks for a second. He's like, you know, come to think of it, it was that earthquake. We have earthquakes all the time, but this was a fairly major one. Our geologist says it started down by the coast somewhere. But I don't know if the two things are connected. They might be.
A rather large earthquake. Did it hit the city at all? I don't think I saw any damage in the city.
It didn't cause much damage. You see, we've built the city to withstand these after the shattering. Because they happen more frequently.
So earthquakes down the coast. What do you know about this expedition for Void Touched Wood?
Oh, pish posh! I don't deal with the collective. I know they rode through here with their loud cart, disrupted my class. I can't have that. I wish they would build a road that actually goes around the outside of the wall. It should have happened a long time ago. I've petitioned the board, of course. But I don't deal with the collective. I don't know anything about all that. They looked capable. They were big, strong men and women.
I'll admit I was more trying to determine if the expedition to get the wood may have been cooked up at the same time as that earthquake happened. Perhaps the two might be related, but alas, no correlation that you or I can find.
I don't think so. It was a couple days ago that this it may have been the same day. But I can't see why the two things would be connected. But like I always told you when you were a child, if two things seem connected, they probably are.
Well, Professor, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you probably have more classes to teach. I wonder if any of my friends have a question or two for you, but if not, then we'll be on our way and take our leave.
Oh! He hadn't looked up from you. He looks up and he sees Skin Pillar and Savas. He's like, puts on his glasses, hangs on. That is simply interesting. I can't say that I've seen one of your kind. You must come to one of my classes and let us talk about the differences between all the races. The children would simply love it. And you too! So not often at all we see a bugbear in the city itself.
Is he talking about me?
Yes, you and Skin Pillar.
Really? You want to know about the 1T? I don't think your children want to know about my race at all.
Well, it takes a curious mind there. Sometimes, you've got to be curious about something and learn things that make you uncomfortable so that you can become a better person. That is our goal, after all, is to make all these children better persons. They don't get caught up in whatever mess Marvin did or not show up to work or. We want to make better people.
Oh. Speaking of learning, how much do you know about the different types of gods?
Oh, I'm afraid I teach the wee ones. Professor Loomis actually is doing a seminar about some of the various deities today. I'm afraid. Takes out his old pocket rods. I'm afraid that that's almost over. I think. But he's a very knowledgeable man about the gods. Go check out the temple. There's all kinds of shrines in there to some of the various gods. I've personally never put much stock in deities. Any deity that I would follow would say that I have to do my own business. He clicks the pocket watch shut and says, but yes, if you change your mind there, friend, I would love to work you into my lesson about the races. It's such a rare one to see.
I've been a sideshow all my life. I don't need to be anymore. Thank you, though.
No offense needed. No offense meant. I was simply thinking of how interesting it would be for these students to learn in a more hands-on fashion than simply looking at crude illustrations and textbooks.
Once again, I will decline.
Oh, that is to each their own. Well, I simply must be going. I have a class that's probably waiting for me. Do you remember the lesson we did when we dissected the dire stingers? That was a fun day. Only 2 kids got stung. They were okay. It was one of the better years. Well, I must be off. Takes their cane and they start slowly walking back toward one of the smaller buildings.
Well, that was less helpful than I had hoped. But who knows? Perhaps our luck will turn. I think we should... I have a feeling that there's something afoot here which shouldn't come as a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we'll find more information if we meet up with that caravan. The woods are a large place and it's quite easy to lose people there.
I agree. And plus, we need to procure the wood, or our boat will not be ready. I understand missing people, but our priorities must be to the boat first. After that, we can focus on the missing people.
Well then, we just need to make one small detour and head on our way.
Sounds good.
I thought you were waiting for the Professor Luminen.
Oh, the divination guy?
Yes.
Well, I thought I was doing that while he was going to visit the other guy. But
Oh, okay. That can.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's fine. We can do it either way.
I mean, you can also wait while I go. While Torqual and I go talk to the lady and tell her we'll deal with it when we get back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can also tell her that you're about the idea of the connection between the two. So maybe
I don't want to scare anyone just yet.
It's about this time from the main building you hear the telltale sign of a large group being led out. Standing at the door, at the gate itself, as he has walked these people out, is a tall. He appears to be human. He's got long hair. He's got a little hat on. Yes, yes. I am so glad that you enjoyed that. See, the gods are such an interesting field of study, and if you should wish to come back and do some more, I'm always around. He's got on this woolen jacket with a leather cuff around the sleeve. He's got a little monocle in. Yes. Do come back.
Okay, Cotton.
Yeah, Torpal looks up to him.
Hi there.
Oh. Hello.
Sorry, I know that this is outside of your teaching hours, but I have a little bit of an inquiry.
Oh, it is never too late for learning, my friend. Never too late. Come in. He goes in and he sits down behind the curation desk and he kind of wipes his brow, takes his monocle out, wipes it, and sticks it back in his pocket. Yes. You had a question, he said. An inquiry.
Yes. So a good couple months ago, I believe I came in contact with a goddess.
Man sits there for a second and it jumps. In contact, you say? Like
Yes.
touching, or just speaking, or thinking you're speaking? Yeah, more specificity, child. Be more specific. This could be the breakthrough I've been looking for.
Okay, so a couple months ago I awoke. I have no memories of my past, and it was kind of disorientating. There was a entity who reached her hand out in the form of a woman. Couldn't really see, as I was a little bit dazed, but she seemed to be made of golden lights, and I had this odd feeling of destiny.
Oh. Destiny. Golden light.
Indeed, and ever since I've been able to do this.
And then I show him my golden astral arms.
He falls out of his chair. Ah! Warn somebody before you do. That is amazing, though. Hold on 1 second. He stumbles back into another room. You hear the telltale sign of searching through stuff. Goddesses of Destiny. There aren't many. That's... But again, as I always tell my students, we have to think, what is a god? What makes a god, and not just somebody with incredible power? I've met some wizards on my travels that can do great things.
Alright, but I guess there's also this.
And would he be able to identify whether somebody is a cleric or if they are able to just pull off certain things?
He does not appear to... Just looking at him, you can tell he's more the studious type and not necessarily the magical type.
Alright.
And he outside of divination, which is his specialty, of course, but he does not know a bunch about other school of magic, though.
Okay. Well, regardless, centered on Tarkle himself, seeing as he's not really selecting anyone, he does the Word of Radiance, and he just says, "Alright, and the
Great Scott!
rocket starts to cool down.
Oh,
It doesn't burn anything. It
he
doesn't
takes
burn
his-
anything. It just
he takes his monocle and puts it back in. He's like, "There's definitely some magic there. I can't quite tell anything else. Oh, wow. Touched by goddess. This is amazing stuff. Amazing stuff."
You say great, Scott, and all I can think of is Back to the Future.
What do you think?
Right.
What do you think the attitude of this NPC is coming from?
All right.
Alright.
I love it.
But yeah, seeing as there's not many goddesses of fates, I was hoping maybe we could narrow down the search, because I definitely want to know who saved me.
Well, I will look into that for you. Give me a couple days. I will look into the more obscure books. This is just general gods and goddesses, and there's only a couple goddesses of fate, but they don't seem to fit what you're talking about.
Which brings me on to my next question. Why would a goddess save a mortal and intervene like that? From what I heard from my friend Marvin, they don't typically do that.
No, not
Or at least
often.
not correctly.
Not often. They usually use the agents to do stuff, and not do it themselves. This is definitely something to look into.
Alright. But thank you for your help, and I'll be back in a couple days.
Yes,
to see
I
what
will
you got.
definitely be looking.
Speaking of, I think my snake friend over there also wanted to ask you a few questions. And I point towards the boss.
Hello, friend.
Yes.
I hope your question's as interesting as his is.
Well, mine pertains to an object that we happened upon, and we wish to know some of its origins. Is there any possible way that you might be able to divine this information?
Yes. Where is this item? Let's see it.
I'll reach back and I'll pull the pouch out and
It's quite warm when you touch it.
and I'll pull it out of the pouch and put it into his hand.
He puts on the monocle and looks over the thing.
I believe it is a diviner's tool. It does seem to be able to break past the void's barrier for scrying on other people.
Wow. This is an amazing thing. It definitely is formed like a crystal ball. There's something odd about it. It's not like our traditional magic. It's... May I try something?
Very carefully, but yes. What are you wanting to do?
This seems like it is of the void. It has that same... I went out once on an expedition mission. We didn't go more than a couple of hours out into the void. I had that... I felt it once and I did not care to feel it again. This feels about the same. It almost feels like the shore of a ship, but obviously different. He casts a spell and is just hold on one second. Yes. Okay. Says he says quick. No. He says quickly, he says, okay, Bill. Who's out in the void right now?
Bill?
A little bit later, within a minute, you can tell he perks up his ears and he nods his head. He puts his hands on the orb, as if you would an arcane focus. He's not looking into the orb, but he casts the same spell. Roll me an Arcana check.
Alright. And once again, I'm king of the threes.
King of the Thieves.
Can
Can I aid Savas?
Do you know anything about Arcana?
Well,
Let's see.
I have -1.
You're not proficient, so you wouldn't be able to aid him in that kind of a skill. That's not one of those things that just anybody can do.
Party pooper.
With a 9, it's some kind of messaging spell. That's all you can really tell from it. You can't get the specifics.
Like sending or something.
Exactly like sending or something. Because you should not have filled that rule. But he casts it again. He casts it again. He's like,
I'm a stumbling and bumbling kind of
Okay.
wizard, my man.
Captain Wallace, this is a test of something. I don't know if you can hear me, and I do not know if you'll be able to respond. But try. I was not counting those words. The orb emanates this pearlescent sheen for about a second. A minute passes. 2. Then the orb, the mist starts to swirl within it, and you see a small capsule ship in the void. It's probably about the size of a minivan. Enclosed, no portholes. Simply a bullet-shaped object. And you see this man standing there, human, middle-aged. It's like, how the hell you be doing that? I ain't heard another voice out here in ages. How you sending me stuff? He casts a spell. You heard it through the orb.
I thought he was holding the orb.
Yes, but you heard it audibly through the orb.
Oh, all right. Interesting.
He says, "This is my last one for the day. I sure do hope I don't have any need of any energy later." He rubs his hand together. He's like, "Some artifact. It's an amazing find. Somebody brought it by. This could be game-changing." Well, I tell you, don't let the collective get their hands on it. They would charge an arm and a leg for the service.
The collective has lost their ability to entice me with anything.
Well, tell Elizabeth I do be missing her, and when I get back, I will definitely take her to a night. As he ran out of words in the sending. Well,
All right, I'll be right back. I gotta go do something real quick.
anybody else there have anything? since I was made something about the orb.
I think Gimpeeler would just try to find out, where are you, Captain?
You messing with the orb?
Oh, well, let's see. It's cool. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. If I have to, I can put my hands on it and utter, the same phrase.
All right. You're talking about the captain. You see once again the familiar streets of the collective complex. Within this, it zooms into the dormitories, the boarding houses. They're parked up pretty close against the river. It's not. It zooms in through one of the windows, and you see Captain Detroit. He's sitting at a table. He's reading a book.
So, like, this is at the docks, at the collective?
Yes. He's reading a book. He's sitting at a table reading a book, having a quick glass of wine. As it's getting into the evening now. You see his head.
Would you like us to come fetch you?
He does not seem to hear you. He looks up. He goes to the door. He opens the door and he lets in somebody that you don't recognize. You can't see many of the features of this person. It's strange. It's almost as if the mists of the orb are obscuring them.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to be a familiar face to Captain Detroit. He lets them in. They sit at the table. He pours another glass of wine.
Okay.
They
there's
drink
no
for a bit.
discernible fear or anything on his face?
No.
All right.
They drink for a bit, and it's about time that the business starts to fade out for you. It starts to go elsewhere because seeing the captain safe, you realize that it's been a long day and you haven't had much since breakfast. You get hungry.
Well, and I have an even lower intelligence than Savas
And
does.
you start to see some of the various restaurants in the city. There's a fish and chips joint that's right on the docks, right by the warehouses, that sells some of the greasiest fish and chips you can get, and you very much want some. And the captain's safe, I'm hungry.
The name?
It's Chips Fish.
Oh.
There's a
All right.
There's a
I love it.
A young half-orc behind it.
Okay.
You can't make out what he's saying, but you get this vivid point of, "Come and get your fish. Best fish in the Starwater District."
I've got the munchies.
Well, that is simply...
Well,
so with the right person in the driver's seat, that could show you... I simply must study this. Is Trash back yet? I assume not.
No, not yet.
Alright.
All right. I will pass this along to the party that our captain is at the docks near Chips and Fish.
No. Chips Fish is somewhere else. He's at the he is in the collective's boarding houses.
Oh, okay. All right. Then yeah, what's pertinent is what I'll pass along. Anyone else?
To a call? Yeah, to a call, Marvin?
Well, I went back to talk to that lady, tell her that so I'm not there.
Oh, okay. I thought you were waiting to do that as a group. All
All
right.
right. Well, if he leaves, then yeah, I'll accompany and Savas as well. We'll try to stay as a unit if we can.
Yeah. Savas
Going
and
to the party.
yeah, Savas and this man they have a bit of a conversation. And I'm just going to say that Savas probably does not want to part with this orb, and it's pretty much the same thing. Let me do some
Mm-hmm.
research and bring this back. And there is Savas
Mm.
coming back now. So I saw him in the background of your video feed.
There you go. Oh, Dave's got something for you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yes. The man, for a second, Skimpiller takes the orb and he looks into it, and you can see slightly over his shoulder that he's looking in on the captain, who is reading. He led a figure into his room, a figure you could not quite make out, which was odd, as it looked to be obscured by the mist. But the captain seemed safe. It seemed to be somebody that they knew. Why you could not make them out in the orb, you did not know. And then he got distracted.
And his
location.
And then he got distracted as to how hungry he was and saw a fish and chips joints that he tells you you must check out when you get back to the saltwater district. Through various walks and train rides, it is early afternoon at this point. The Professor Luminen, it's like, this could be the biggest breakthrough in since Void travel itself. Oh, that's
Do you
heavy.
feel like you can duplicate this?
Let me do some research. I'm assuming you will not part with it.
No.
Let me do some research. And maybe accompany your friend back in a couple days. This has been
The reason we sought you out is we are kind of worried that I have had a very vivid dream of. Do you travel the void at all?
No, I told you. I've been a couple. What is distance in that place? I didn't even go far out, and I was like, I don't want to go back.
Let me explain.
Not made for me.
The void shields stop the void from driving you mad. But when you sleep, I hear muffled voices like that I can never fully understand. I have a feeling it's something to do with the void. It's monsters or whatever is out there trying to communicate with us.
Yes.
And I think the shield stops it. But the more I use this thing, the clearer those voices are becoming. This might be a breakthrough like you think, but it might not be as good as you think. You need to be very careful with this magic. My friend Marvin has opened my eyes to the possibility that this might not be a great thing.
Yes, that's always a possibility, but the gods, oof. Let me look into it. He looks a little bit closer with his monocle. I can't see any outside interference, but that doesn't mean anything. I wish I could be more clear. Again, let me research. Come back in a couple days. Maybe even a
What do
week.
you know of,
The both of you, give me a week.
I have another question for you that might be even more pertinent to this. It appears that I actually traveled through the void, not by my own accord, but I ended up on a beach where these people found me. So I
not only have I talked through the void, I've actually traveled, teleported through the void. Don't know if that is even possible.
It should not be. I've never
Maybe
heard
something has
anything
changed
about
about
it.
the void.
He says, yes, yes, he writes down some information. He says, he's not here today. He's out on an expedition. But check back. There's one of my colleagues, Nocturus. He specializes in the void. He works a little too close with those collective tricks, if you ask me, but he specializes in the void, and he might know something. Or you might go and ask. They might go and ask some of the scientists and mages that actually work for the Unification Collective. You might ask Elder Bertrand himself. He was around before the shattering, so he might know bits and pieces of what happened.
Well, to do a job, but I will check back with you in a week, and then we can confer and maybe take this further, like you said. But just look into it, and I'll be back in a week.
Yes, I will consult my books. This could be the biggest breakthrough in years. If you could if you could reliably talk back and forth. He's exasperated. He's like, yes, I will consult my books. And he's in the process of leaving. He's like, I've got to get to the library.
By the way, I did find it in a dragon hoard, so maybe the dragon know more about this than they're letting on.
Noted. Dragon hordes. Got it.
All right, and I'll head on that.
All right. So a lot of you leave the temple district through the western gates. You get nodded on along by some of the rifle corps. Do you take the walk back, or do you take the train back?
Depends on how long it might take. Are we trying to leave today, or is this going to be something we do tomorrow?
If you, it is early afternoon at this point. Not saying y'all can't travel overnight, but it is early afternoon at this point.
And traveling at night does not sound like a lot of fun.
And looking on the horizon, you can see these heavy black clouds. Looks like it might storm.
But the amount of distance that we have to travel, we could actually probably get to the base of the mountain. I mean, traveling in the fields might not be as bad, and once we get to the mountains, that's when we might take a rest. It's up to you, Martin. Whatever you think.
Did we end up... We didn't end up purchasing any tents or anything. I think I just have a bedroll.
There's the matter of provisions as well, yes.
So we're probably better off re-provisioning. We've been information gathering, so if we go provision, then we'll be better prepared.
Well, since we're not going to be leaving tonight, maybe we can investigate these missings a little further.
Perhaps. It's worth a shot.
Yeah, the deep sound of thunder resonates from a couple miles over the sea. On the other side of town, you can see this thick heads of storm clouds rolling in to land. Faint drizzle starting to fall on you all.
right. So
Perhaps let's take the train back. Go purchase some provisions, some tents, some rations,
Yeah,
and then
great idea.
take the night and make our way out in the morning.
Yeah, sounds good. I think if we purchase the stuff quickly, we can, like you said, if you wanted to try to track down some of these missing people, we can.
I honestly have no idea where to even start. The living district, I guess, but that's
Well, she might actually have some of the places that the workers lived. Maybe we could just, after we drop off all the stuff in the Seawater Inn, is that what it was?
Starwater Inn.
Starwater, yeah, Starwater Inn. We can just ask her where they live and go from there.
But as the sky begins to darken, whether it be from the setting sun or the thick, heavy storm clouds that are now dumping rain on you, it's beginning to get more intense. You board the train, paying one final silver. Once you get into town, this drizzle has become a downpour. Thunder striking.
Which town?
Starwater. Yes, you're still in Stillhaven proper. Going back to the Starwater Inn as I understood it. Thunder cracks. Thunder crashes. Closer and closer. You can see the some of the taller buildings that stick out of the basin that is what is the collective complex. You can see some of those, obviously lightning rods and such, not doing any damage, but you can see the lightning striking those buildings.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you can see the lightning striking those buildings. And as you come back into the Starwater district, to the Starwater Inn, the smell of Elliot's gumbo drawing you in out of the cold rain. Oh, hell of a night, ain't it? Man, that storm came out of nowhere. Wouldn't want to be on the roads in this.
certainly not. No.
Drinks, food.
Huh.
Again, I'm still not giving you a tab. And this is where we will end this session, with you raiding out this rainstorm in the Starwater Inn.
Okay.
So, to people still with us and YouTube crew, if this video is even able to be edited with the amount of dropping and such that it has been, it might just be audio, who knows. But either way, do the YouTube stuff, do the Twitch stuff, and I'll see y'all later. Be good people.